Stock prices attempted a correction last week, but the rebound continues to push them higher. Which particular risks are investors immune to?
Can I answer all of the above? The market really, the market overall seems more or less immune to risk. That's not to say individual stocks aren't immune to risk. There are certainly stocks that are having very negative reactions to company-specific news, and those, you can go any day and look at the losers column and see that there are some significant losers, more or less on any given day, as a result of some company-specific item. But for the most part, the broader markets really have blinders on. One can argue that there's a whole litany of risks, and I guess the old saw is that markets climb a wall of worry. There's certainly plenty of worries that this market is climbing. Domestically, the market seems to act as though the tax reform bill is a done deal. Listening to some of the rumblings out of the Senate, it's not clear that that's going to come out in the form that, certainly not in the form that the House approved, and that in itself is a risk. But the market doesn't seem to mind that one. The Fed raising rates, that's been priced in. One of the old adages is don't fight the Fed. The Fed is actively raising rates, but okay, we'll ignore that one too. I guess on that one, the Fed is offset by the fact that the ECB continues to throw money at the markets, and the Swiss Central Bank continues its buying of stocks as it prints Swiss francs. So one can argue that Fed risk is offset. Politically, the U.S. is in a quiet period, I guess, for a while, politically, with the exception of the tax reform items. But then you have global politics, which seem to be getting ignored too. If you could tell me what's going on with clarity about how Brexit is going to go, I'd appreciate that. If you can provide some clarity as to how Germany is going to deal with this political mess that they're in, with Merkel basically being unable to form a government, I think that would be interesting. I don't even know what's going on with North Korea anymore, but I think the market's kind of moved on past that one. Until or unless something else happens, but North Korea seems to be relatively quiet these couple of days or weeks. So, the fact that this market sort of attempted a mild bout of profit taking, and then essentially shot higher afterwards, again, is just saying that for whatever it is, whether it's flow of money, whether it's fear of missing out, whether there's no alternative, the money seems to be coming at this market. It's a little amplified because we're in a shortened week this week. And I think short weeks tend to follow the path of least resistance, and that path of least resistance has been higher. And so as you have a couple of days with very light volumes, who knows what goes on in that period. But it's hard. There's any number of shocks that should or could upset this market, domestically or globally. As of now, we're still waiting to see what that might be.